Hey, I'm Kim from HubKoin, and today I'm going to answer the question, what is Bitcoin? Welcome to my new series on cryptocurrencies. I filmed a video a while ago that talks about what cryptocurrency is, and I strongly recommend that you watch that first. I say that because this series is going to get into the specific types of coin that are available in cryptocurrency, not cryptocurrency itself. Legally, I cannot give you investment advice. I can share my experience. When I started investing, I took some time to try to understand what the big coins in cryptocurrency were. As I did my research, I started to kind of feel like certain coins were more for me, if that makes sense. But specifically, I knew I needed to understand Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the grandfather coin of cryptocurrency. It's nowhere near the only coin in the family. It's actually a family of over 8,000 now, but it is the coin that started it all. Understanding cryptocurrency in general, as well as understanding Bitcoin, can be really helpful in making investment decisions. We can trace the origins of Bitcoin back to August 18th of 2008, when the domain name bitcoin.org was registered. Later on that year, on October 31st, a paper by Satoshi Nakamoto was released on a cryptography mailing list. This paper was called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and the paper laid the groundwork for what cryptocurrency could be, and specifically stated that it could be a system for electronic transactions without relying on trust. Before anyone throws anything at me, I think it's important to remember that Satoshi was not the first to work on cryptocurrency. They just made it a reality. There are other individuals that were working on projects, some going back as far as the 1980s. Whether or not those projects were successful, they laid the groundwork for what Satoshi was about to do. Satoshi Nakamoto is a name that is surrounded by mystery and controversy. No one really knows who Satoshi is. There are debates about whether or not Satoshi is a person or a group of people, but there is one thing we know for sure. Satoshi has made it very clear that they do not wish to be found. There are lots of videos that you can look up that go into speculation and theories about who Satoshi is, but this video is specifically about Bitcoin, not Satoshi's identity. To oversimplify, Satoshi wanted to create a financial system, or money, that was not dependent on government or banks. And on January 3rd of 2009, the Bitcoin network came into existence, with Satoshi mining the first block, or the Genesis block, of Bitcoin. Embedded in the code was the following message: The Times, 03/Jan/2009. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks, which was a reference to the headline on the British newspaper The Times, published on the same date. Some people believe that Bitcoin is a direct response to the 2008 financial crisis. It seems that Satoshi was very upset with banks getting all of these bailouts after they were so irresponsible with other people's money. From this day forward, anyone could download software to be able to mine Bitcoin, so people started mining and trading. The first retail transaction where Bitcoin was used as tender happened on May 22nd of 2010, where 2 pizzas were purchased for a total of 10,000 Bitcoin. By today's standards, that roughly equals about $500 million, or $250 million per pizza. That's why crypto fans celebrate May 22nd as Bitcoin Pizza Day. Satoshi made their last public message on April 26th of 2011. With Satoshi's exit came Bitcoin's rise. In time, some retailers started to accept Bitcoin as tender, and some companies were formed with the intention of facilitating Bitcoin trading. During this time, there were a lot of smaller controversies surrounding whether or not Bitcoin could be considered legal tender and where the law stood on a currency like this. Some countries made it illegal. Other countries decided that it was currency and it needed to be taxed. By the time we made it to 2014, bigger tech companies like Dell and Microsoft were accepting Bitcoin as tender. And by the time we hit 2015, 100,000 merchants were accepting Bitcoin as payment. Between 2014 to 2017, the controversy started to grow. There were a number of hacks on Bitcoin exchanges where coin was stolen. But what's important to note here is that even when Bitcoin is stolen, the blockchain records cannot be changed. Tracking down the Bitcoin can be a bit messy, but it is possible. And some people who stole during that time frame are starting to get caught. An example of this is the case against Ilya Lichtenstein and his wife Heather Morgan. They have been accused of conspiracy to money launder and for stealing over 119,000 Bitcoin. I do want to make it clear that the blockchain of Bitcoin itself was not hacked. The security features of the Bitcoin exchanges were hacked. The industry has learned a lot since then. And it just goes to show that money laundering can happen in any currency, even Bitcoin. But with Bitcoin, a criminal leaves a trail. That trail can be followed, and the thief can be caught. As the years have gone on, Bitcoin has only gotten bigger. More countries have started to accept it, more people have started using it, and although at times the market has been volatile, Bitcoin has consistently increased in value over time. Originally, Bitcoin was valued at less than a cent, and today it's valued at about $50,000 Canadian, give or take. In 2021, El Salvador announced their plans to start recognizing Bitcoin as legal tender in their country. There's a lot of speculation that Panama, Cuba, Ukraine, and Paraguay may be following suit. All of this attention, plus all of the success of the other cryptocurrencies that are available, point to a future for Bitcoin. Hate it or love it, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. Bitcoin's history is wild, and there is a lot to dig into. In truth, this video barely scratches the surface of Bitcoin's history. It brought innovation, mystery, and a whole new standard for currency. There's been highs and lows, and the history of Bitcoin is still being written. And here at HubKoin, we are so excited to see what happens next. That's it. We're done. We've answered the question, what is Bitcoin? I really appreciate your time, and if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and you can check out any of our other videos for more crypto info. As always, thank you so much for sticking it out to the end, and remember, we're all learning together. Thanks. Bye.